I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 million. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it blind in my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mid dot.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Ready, break. 56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Sit up. 56 to Mike. One, go. Check 56.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
I'm all over you.
And shedding his way forward. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Mike 56. Let's go, D. Big Sears right here. We got it. 56.
On 2nd down, McClellan. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Riley. It's a big play there for the Lions. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Set, ready? 18 Gator.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll run on first down. It's Fuller. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
50's the mark. Oh, you got deep?
Get it.
2nd and 13. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A big play there. 79 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Go, go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Riley. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. Wiggles free. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play works. Excellent execution, 18 yards on that fake and a first down. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
Let's go now. 15, Ronnie. 15, Ronnie.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
50, my 50, my 50. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
2nd and 9 now. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hawkinson. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll drop the throw. The quick slant caught. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Eluded, fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Let's go. 18, Gator.
They can't hang with us.
Hit it.
On 1st and 10, Garner. Ball incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Garner. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Johnson, the intended target.
Partner, we've heard it once, we've heard it 1,000 times. Don't throw late down the middle.
And he did. We see the end result.
Yeah, what you have to do is you got to make sure you manipulate those defenders with your eyes and your head, maybe even some body movement to move them a little if you're going to come back late down the middle.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Mike's 56. Mike's 50.
5.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Look at me. Go. Ready?
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Off-play action. Garner. And he finds a man on the crossing route. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter.
Ready? 70, Indy. You ain't doing nothing to that. You ain't doing nothing to that. Let's go.
Throwing on 1st down. Garner. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Garner. He gets this one to Johnson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Call it a gain of 12, but, of course, not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Hey, box truck.
From the gun, Garner. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 27. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Max 50. Yeah. 50. All day, every day, any day.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this.
And he's into the clear. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that will get them 1 closer. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22.
Go! 30 base.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line. Hey, watch it, watch it.
You draw quarters. Hey, echo.
50's the mic.
Hit it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
First down and goal to go. Come on, set. 10 logo.
Right there, 56.
I got him. Ready, go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 10 yards out. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Garner. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 42. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault.
Touchdown, Detroit! A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On first down, Garner. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garner under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains.
First down, New York.
8, read.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hit it.
On first down, Fuller. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Lions' 46-yard line.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Garner. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to let it. Got his man. Complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing too.
Oh, she's at least
on like the 5th tune.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Fuller, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now the ball comes loose, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. Acot's right sideline in some space. And a cutback left and a crease here. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Fuller. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
Let's go heavy. Let's go heavy.
On third down, Fuller. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.